Here we go. Sorry about that. We are now recording again. Make sure the red light is on. It is. Yeah. Okay. Um, so that's where we are. We are finding email addresses. Like I said, I'll give you those templates. And, about a quarter for an email address, about a quarter or so, maybe 50 cents. Like if you're just going to do 30 at a time or just 60, you might have to pay a little bit more. But if you're going to be doing 3 or 4 sites right off the bat, you can go ahead and say, go to this area, get me 30 from here, 30 for this city, 30 for this city, 30 for that city. And then you just give them the different keyword groups. It's really easy, especially freelancer. You'll have no problem at all. You just need to get a free account of Freelancer. They have all kinds of protection in place so that if you give them clear directions and they don't get it right, if they don't get it right, you can, you won't have to pay. So don't worry about that. Because finding email addresses on your own, it can be a little bit time consuming. If money is tight, though, definitely, by all means, do it on your own. You'd much rather get some results quickly than say, I can't afford to spend $30, for 60 different leads for a couple of different cities. So just go ahead, do it on your own. Like I said, make sure you start on page 4, but go in here to Google or go in here to yp.com or go into Craigslist and get all these different websites. Okay, like get all these different websites. All these websites that are page 4 and back, they're doing horrible in the search engines. No one's seeing them. No one is going to page 6. No one says, I found my mover from page 7 in Google. Of course not. They found their mover from page 1 in Google. Okay, that's how it works. And you collect these leads from all these different websites. Okay. From all these different websites, and you're going to have no problem. You're going to have no problem getting this site sold. You're going to have absolutely no problem. And like I said, outsource it once you can afford it. Definitely don't outsource it on your own at first. Just, get yourself out a text file and, put together 50 or 30 different email addresses. Okay? Everyone understand how that works? We're targeting all the different businesses. That's what we're doing. And we're getting their email address. Now, Chuck says sometimes a website on page 4 or later might also be on page 1. Yeah, that is true. Sometimes they will be. But a lot of times they won't be. And a lot of times they won't be. Sometimes they will. You'll find a lot of times that first page of Google is full of like just different directory listings where it's really no one website that's there. It's the yellow pages or it's some other directory. And when we come in there with this wickedly optimized website with link juice coming in from these different high PR sites, we're going to just crush it, and we're going to be on that first page. So even if they are on the first page, that's all right. He might go, I'm on the first page, and never call us, and that's all right, because they weren't really a target. But I usually won't do cross-referencing. It just takes too much time. For me, anyway. Anyone else have any questions about this? Craig, I'm not sure what you mean. All right. And if you're not sure about a question right now, that's all right because you will be able to ask it again on Wednesday. We're going to do one more live session. I can't believe we're going to do another live session, but that's all right. I wanted to deliver like an unbelievable amount of value here for everyone that got this Warrior special offer, and I don't mind doing another webinar. And during that webinar, you're going to be able to ask all kinds of questions. Are you saying not to send? No, Hal, that's not what I'm saying at all. No, Hal, what I was saying, Hal was asking, are you saying not to send to businesses that are listed in directories? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is a lot of times the first page of Google, there's going to be a lot of directory style of sites. Of course, this one there isn't. But there's a couple like city data. Let me throw movers on there. Like that's just a big. Yeah, there are a couple of like Easy Movers is a big directory of different. Looks like a couple. Couple other services have popped in here, or couple of competitors have popped up here, but that's all right. We're still on the first page. We'll get this sold before they do, hopefully. Google listing lots of reviews on first page. If you mean reviews, I mean, I don't care about the reviews. I think you're talking about like Google Places. We're not concerned with Google Places right now. We're not concerned. We can't use Google Play. A lot of people have been asking about this. This is something that's very important. We can't use Google Places until we have a real business attached to this with a real address. Otherwise, we risk getting in a lot of trouble with Google. Okay? Let me say that again. We're not going to do anything with Google Places until we have a real business attached to the site. And we're not going to do anything with Google Places. You might want to throw it in for free, but that should be an additional service, $100 or $200 to set up their Google Places. Yeah. Yeah, Hal, that's good. You should list your clients, especially once you get a client. List them in some different local and different business directories. Another, a really good place to list them. Sometimes your local newspaper will have a spot where you can, make a link to your website. And newspapers usually have crazy PR rankings, so that's another place that you can link to. I don't want to go too far back into the linking, but it looks like the email, that should cover it. Like I said, I'll give you a template. I'll show you where to post it. You shouldn't pay too much for it. And definitely when you're getting started, just collect the addresses yourself. You would be amazed how many different addresses if you just spent an hour. Okay? If you spent an hour looking for just email addresses for the businesses in your area that are likely to buy the website that you've built, spend an hour, you're going to get, 50 email addresses without too much trouble. So email right now is my absolute favorite, and email combined with that video like I showed you before. You have that video script, either you can do it or have someone outsource that. Now, direct mail is my next favorite, okay? And it's the same principles, same techniques as email. It's just a little bit slower, and you are going to have some costs because you are going to have to, like, collecting the email addresses or collecting physical addresses for a business is going to be much quicker and cheaper than finding email addresses. The drawback is you're going to have to pay money on postage, and it's going to take a little bit longer. But I've had absolutely great success with using versions of those postcards that you have in your marketing material. It can work extremely well. It can work extremely well. And when I do postcard marketing, I don't lick the postcard stamps myself or anything like that. I absolutely love Vistaprint. Vistaprint I got started with way back in 2008. And for doing small volume, and what I mean by small volume, I mean 50, a mailing of 50, okay? A mailing of 50 is small volume. For doing small volume like that, and for doing color printing, I haven't found anyone that beats Vistaprint's prices and their service, okay? A lot of people use Click-to-Mail. Click-to-Mail is another great service, but dollar for dollar, I seem to get a little bit better deal at Vistaprint. And there are other people that swear by other postcard mailing services. There's a lot out there, and I see a lot of people are coming in. Yeah, like some people have suggested send out cards. Send out cards are fantastic, Hal and David, but send out cards are a fortune. It will cost you a fortune to mail 50 postcards, full color postcards like we're going to be sending with Vistaprint. It'll cost you a fortune compared to Vistaprint. But if you like using send out cards and you're familiar with their interface and you like their business, by all means, go ahead and use them. I personally like Vistaprint because, it's what I'm most familiar with, and I find their prices are really good. Yeah, oh, of course. Yeah, you're right. All you need is one client to pay for it. For sure. For sure. Use whatever postcard service you're familiar with, whatever service you're happy with. If you don't have one, I would definitely recommend either Vistaprint or Click-to-Mail. So everyone that's recommending those other providers, I don't know about some of those smaller ones, so I don't want to recommend them. But Send Out Cards is a reputable company that I've heard enough about. Some of those other ones I'm not sure about. But Click-to-Mail looks very good. I use Click-to-Mail. Their prices were a little bit more. The second one would be clicktomail.com. Can you see my screen? Everyone can see my screen, all right? Right? It's the mind map page. Oh, good. Very good. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, Harry. That's a very good question, Harry. And let me just, Harry, that's a really good question because this has happened before. Harry asks, what happens if you sell a Fort Lauderdale mover? If you sell a moving company the site, then 2 hours later another company wants to buy it. You have a couple of things that you can do there. And this first one is an instance that I've done on occasion, and this has happened with in larger cities where the city is dissected, like this one particular, it's like Bald Hill, okay? As opposed to, I had done a postcard mailing, and I had done a big postcard mailing to about 100 different roofing contractors, okay? Yeah, Gerard, you got it. You're absolutely right. That's a good way to do it. But roofing contractors, okay, and I had mailed to a bunch of different companies, and I got the site sold. The postcard went out. This was actually a second mailing, though, but postcard went out. Immediately, a business called me and said, oh, I want this site. And then, like 2 days later, another business called me and said, I want that site. And I had to say, and this was at a time where, like right now, I really don't say that you're absolutely going to be the only absolute customer. Like I don't really have that verbiage now so much, but back then I did. And what I did was I found out that this second business primarily worked not just so much in the bigger city as a whole, but primarily just in this one area. And it also turned out that he was primarily doing flat roofs as opposed, like commercial, not truly commercial roofing, but like triple-decker roofings. And I was able to just make a slight change. Like it wasn't just it wasn't city name roofing contractor. It was neighborhood roofing contractor. And then I've also done like commercial roofing contractor in that city. So you can do that. You can also simply say, you know what? Unfortunately, I just sold that site about an hour ago. What I could do for you is I could create a similar site for you and get that site ranked to the top of Google for you. And if it would be, say, a Fort Lauderdale mover, I could simply go ahead and maybe get the domain Fort Lauderdale moving, or moving in Fort Lauderdale, or moving to Fort Lauderdale. I could just create a variation where it's not going to be the exact same keyword. It's not going to be the exact same keyword, but it's going to be very similar. And you could on your are you offering the sites on your post? Hi, Ruben. Yeah, we are offering. You can look at, like, if you look inside of the marketing material, you can see the different postcards. Like the different postcards that are in there. You can look at all those different postcards if you wanted to. You know, any of those postcards are good to go with. Like if you look at that FLAR phone, you know, I'm not trying to take an order right from the postcard. What I'm trying to do is just drum up some business for the postcard. Yeah, Ruben, I'm not sure what you mean. It doesn't mention the site. Yeah, well, Ruben, that postcard right here. If you look at that postcard, it says start getting more new customers with this website that is already on the first page of Google. You know, it's definitely selling. Yeah, no, the black ones don't. Those are different postcards. Those are just postcards you can use like later on when you don't have to sell on spec. Like I talk about that during Module 6, which I just uploaded today. Like when you're not selling on spec, you can use those postcards. And you know, you could have someone, we could go to Fiverr and, you know, have someone create a postcard if you wanted something fancier than this, but something like this just worked very simply. You know, it's being sent to all the auto repair shops in Fort Lauderdale. Okay, I can assure you the owners, the managers are going to look at this. Okay, it's very clear. It's, you know, they can start getting more new customers. They know what this looks like. They've probably typed in Fort Lauderdale auto repair many, many times. You know, they know their competitors around them. You know. The audio pin on the webinar. John, what is the audio pin? Is there an audio pin? Does anyone know the audio pin for the webinar? It looks like it's different. John, it looks like it's different for everyone else. Just, you should get it. Yeah, you might not even need it, do you? But you should get it right from, just get the email that you had gotten, John. Yeah, a lot of people are also saying they didn't need it. So I hope you get on, John. If not, you know, it'll definitely be recorded, so don't worry about that. All right, looks like, what size are the postcards? I mainly just do a regular standard size. Vistaprint is a little funny with their postcards. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was showing you something, but I meant to be showing you this, but it was on my different screen. But you can see this website, or this is a postcard right here. Like, you realize this, it's in your marketing material folder. You know, this is a postcard. It's called flarphone.png. You know, and all this is this is a simple, anyone can create this right here. This is a simple screen capture with Jing, the free version. Okay, the free version, and you're able to write with text. You're able to make an arrow, and this was just done with the free version. I saved this as an image, and now, you know, I can go upload this. I can use this as a postcard. I could go give this to a print shop, and he could print it out. But this is one of my favorite postcards. Okay, you can also, which I need to give to you, where we're doing a postcard saying, "Hey, I created a video for you. I'll upload this for you tomorrow." I think it's on my Windows computer. I don't think it's on this, but I'll get you another one of the postcards that I really like. And what that's doing is that's saying, "Hey, I made a video for you," and it's basically, you know, going to the link to your video that we created for them for the email. And, you know, grabbing the addresses for these is super easy. Okay, and I'll give you the ad that you can go ahead and place for this. And this, I wouldn't pay more than 10 cents per lead. But you say to, you know, you go to Freelancer and you post a data mining job. You're looking for all the addresses from yellowpages.com, yp.com, right? Yellowpages.com. I want all of the car repair for Worcester, Mass. Okay? I want you to avoid all of the big national companies. I want you to avoid anything that says auto body. I want you to avoid anything that says auto glass. Okay? And just have them go through and go ahead and get all the data. So we're going to go ahead and mine all that data. We're going to get their mailing addresses. And this is a really cheap way, and you should pay, you know, 10 cents or so. Hold on just 1 second. Some people, can everyone hear me okay? Some people, yeah, okay. Alright, sorry about that. Just give me 2 seconds. Okay, sorry about that. It should be alright. Anyone? Yeah, looks like everyone was able to find me fine. Yeah, Ruben, I'll go ahead and email you right after this. Okay, yeah, everyone can hear me alright. But, you know, go right to Yellow Pages. A very easy way for you to outsource this. You might spend about 10 cents per lead. You could even do it for 5 cents or even less. This is really, really fast, really easy to do it. You could do it yourself very easily. You know, put together yourself a list. You're just going to be building a list. And, you know, the more, the better. Absolutely, the more that you can get, the better. The more addresses you can get, the better. You know, get at least 50 for each business. At least 50. If you can't get 50, just expand the market a little bit. Like, you know, you can do a radius search. Go into those neighboring towns around there Okay, you don't have to just be in that exact city. So you can also, like I said, you can outsource this just like anything else we've done. You can do it at Freelancer or Odesk. I'll give you those templates tomorrow. A lot of people are asking for that. I'll give you those templates, no problem. It's basically the same as the email. We have almost the same criteria. Like I said, we do want to avoid those national chains. The other thing that you can do is you can rent a mailing list. This is probably, honestly, renting a mailing list, you don't want to do for 50 or 100. You want to do it more for, 500 or 1,000 or at least 250 or so. You definitely want to do it for more than just 100. And what you would do is you'd go to either Info USA or USA Data. There's also there's probably a local mailing company near you, a local mailing list company, and you just tell them, hey, this is what I'm looking for. I want all the car repair shops in a 5-mile radius of this city, okay? And they'll help you when you get them on the phone or even through email at some of these places like Info USA. They're so incredibly helpful. It's crazy. Yeah, you probably are right. Yeah, some people are saying that you can download a lot of this, like from your public library. You can get the data. There are a lot of places that you can get data. When you're renting something, you want to try, and sometimes when you do get free data, sometimes when you, yeah, a lot of people are saying, yeah, you can go to your local library and get, a copy of the SRDS and get thousands of addresses, right? There's so many different ways that you can, rent a list. Definitely, though, when you are going to rent a list, you're going to want to, go big. You don't just want to have small amount. You definitely. And, you can send postcards or sales letter or combine the two. Send out a postcard. Postcards are going to cost you, even with postage, okay, printing and postage, you're going to be looking at a little over 50 cents or so. Maybe even less if you're going to be mailing more per recipient, okay? So if you send out 100 postcards, it's going to cost you about $50 or $60 or so. And, you would send 100 postcards, but you'd probably be selling it, sending it to 2 different areas. You'd be sending 50 over to, town 1 for site 1, and then 50 to town 2 for site 2. Or something along those lines. But when you're definitely, the more that you can get out there, really, the more times that you can get in contact with these people, the easier it is going to be to sell. Send a postcard, send an email, then send a postcard, then send a sales letter, And once again, like we were talking about, yeah, okay, so Hal's saying you can use Click-to-Mail. I believe that's black and white, though, Hal, but you can send 100 postcards using Click-to-Mail for about $40. Do you care about the quality of the business you bring to page 1? No, I wouldn't. That's an interesting. Yeah, Craig asked, do I care about the quality of the business that I would? No, I wouldn't. Like, if I saw someone was like a scammer or something like that, or if I blatantly saw like, 100 negative reviews that this guy ripped me off, I personally wouldn't do business with them. But most any business I would do business with. Yeah, right, exactly. And Ed brings up a good point, is you do want to use like a standard postcard or 4 1/4 by 6 inches long, because if you do go with those jumbo postcards, you get charged a regular first class stamp rate as opposed to a postcard rate. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I don't want to get too caught up in this, but you can rent mailing lists. When you're starting, though, you're going to be dealing in small numbers. Go to Freelancer and pay someone $30 to go collect 300 physical addresses, even if you haven't built the site yet. Like if you've only set up one site right now, but you know you're going to set up 2 or 3 in the next couple of weeks or in the next couple of days, have someone go and collect a lot of data. So even if site B and C aren't ready yet for you, still go ahead and get those leads all collected now, because as a whole, you're generally going to pay a little bit less. Like I said, once again, use those templates. They're there as a guideline for you. They work, okay? They work, but change them to your voice or your tone or how you want to sound, okay? Have someone rewrite them. We could go to Fiverr and you could hire someone at Fiverr to rewrite that sales material for you. I'm not the greatest copywriter in the world. I'm just using what has worked for me. If you don't like the copy, though, definitely go ahead and change it for your own needs. And, just use them as a template. And I'll say this again. I don't know if you caught it earlier, but very rarely are you going to make a sale from the first effort that you put out there. Okay? And what I mean by that is, if you just go tomorrow and collect 30 email addresses and email those 30 businesses one time, there's a very good chance that you're not going to sell a site. Okay? I want to say that again. There's a very good chance that you're not going to sell a site if all you do is mail 30 businesses one time. Okay? Does everyone understand that? I can't stress that enough, because I already know people, we've been a week into the live training now, okay? And a couple of people, there's some people that have already written back and said, I've already sold a site. I have already got my site to the first page of Google, and I already have a business that's interested in it, okay? And that's awesome. But I'm also getting a couple of emails and questions here where people are saying, I built a site, I already got it to the first page of Google, so right there, congratulations. But some of these customers of mine, they weren't focusing on that. They were focusing on, I sent out 22 emails and I didn't get it sold yet. Your program doesn't work. And let me say it again. If you only contact these businesses one time, there's very little chance that you're going to have success. Okay? So that repeat exposure, them seeing your offer not 7. I said 7 because there's some people that say, I guess on average it takes a business or someone 7 times before they make a decision. Obviously, we're not going to mail these people 7 times. Okay? We're not going to have to. I've never mailed. When I've tried to sell a site, especially through postcards, I haven't mailed more than 3 times without making a sale. But there are some people that are saying, hey, it's only one time I mailed them, I didn't sell it. The system must not work. And like I said, just do it several times. If the email doesn't work for you at first, okay, go ahead and add a video. Put together a video like I showed you. That simple, ridiculous video saying, hey, Mr. Roofer, I'm on page 1. You're on page 20. Customers are seeing me. Potential customers are seeing me on page 1. No one's seeing you on page 10. Okay? The email doesn't work, do a video. If the video doesn't work for you, the email doesn't work for you, then go ahead and try some direct mail. Try a postcard, or I've even done priority mail where I've actually, put together a little priority box, filled it with one of those DVDs. I'm on a Mac, and, not that matters, but it's very easy to put together a DVD, just burn a DVD on this computer. And it cost me like 15 cents or so to throw that into a priority envelope for like $4, $4.55 or whatever it is now. and send that off to 10 businesses and make a sale. Okay, I've done that before. I've absolutely done that before, and there's really no reason that you can't do that. But I don't want you to get into the priority mail right off the bat, because it is it's going to be your biggest investment. But believe me, it works so incredibly well. It works so unbelievably well. Like I said, use those templates. Anything you can't do, outsource it. All right. And the other way that you can do it, and this is not my preferred method, because I don't deal with those types of businesses all that much. Okay, but you can also drop off, a postcard or flyer at the different businesses, and that is more for like restaurants. Like, it would be very hard to do that for a roofing contractor or a landscaper. It would be really hard to do that. But it wouldn't be hard if it's, a restaurant or a Chinese restaurant or pizza place or hair salons or some lower dollar services. And for the life of me, there aren't too many more that I could think of that I would do that with. But it can be done, as can, dialing for dollars. And I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And hopefully you're never going to have to do it. But it really is an absolute lifetime. Yeah, that's a good point. Hal says, there are a couple companies out there that'll record the CD and put it in the envelope and mail it for you for about $2 or so. Right. I use Priority. Like, I put it in. I had gotten I don't even know who did it. It was a Warrior course, but it was it was a long time ago too. But it was someone showing that, and it definitely worked good. Yes, actually, Mike, that is a very good point, and that was why I recommend starting with maybe 2 or 3 sites right off the bat, because if your first site doesn't sell right away, okay, it is better to do another one and not stress about that first one, because we're going to be able to, and I touched on it a little bit in Module 6, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more tonight too, is what if no one buys, okay? But you can just go into different markets. If your site doesn't sell right away, don't stress about it. Really, don't stress about it, because if you're on that first page, you have incredible proof. And like I said, we'll go in a little bit in just, about 5 minutes. About 5 minutes, we'll get to that. But the dialing for dollar, you're going to do this mainly to Craigslist and PPC advertisers. Okay? What we're going to do is we're going to go to Craigslist, okay? And we're going to go into those services businesses, okay? We're going to go into the service section, and we're going to call up these businesses. We're going to call up, all these different businesses that are advertising in here. And we're saying, hey, I saw your ad on Craigslist. How's it doing for you? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, honestly, it's doing horrible. I haven't brought in any customers from it. Yeah, I'm not surprised. A lot of people that shop on Craigslist are just looking for the absolute bargain basement price. And unless you're known as being like really inexpensive or offering a really cheap deal, chances are you're not going to bring in the best customers through Craigslist. And then you can basically say, you can basically like look at the marketing material. Just use that marketing material. Use that video script. Basically, you're just going to say what's in there. You're going to say, hey, you might not be getting any customers from Craigslist, but, I own the number 3 or the number 2 site on Google for a car repair place just like yours, okay? I know you're not getting any customers from Craigslist. If I could show you how to get more customers by being on the first page of Google, would you be interested in that? And then people will say, oh, that's awesome. Look at this. Okay, I just want to talking about cold calling, okay? Brittany says, I just did something interesting tonight as far as cold calling. Okay, and like I said, this is our last resort, the cold calling and calling businesses. But she said she called and left a message after hours, okay, which is a real neat method. And Brittany, I'd like to get a little bit more information from you maybe tomorrow about how you did that. But you call and you leave a message after hours. And she did this and she's already got 2 callbacks. So that's a way that you can kind of like make a warm call where you're calling a business, you know that they're not going to be there, okay? And you call their answering machine and say, hey, I'm so sorry I missed you. The reason I was calling you today was I was looking on Google, or you don't even have to go into it too much, but you could do something very simple. I was looking on Google and I wasn't able to find your website on the first 5 pages. And I got to tell you, that's costing you a lot of customers. Would you be interested in learning how you can get your business on the very first page of Google out there in front of all those potential clients that are looking for a business just like yours? Give me a call at or visit my website at if you're interested. You know, I need to warn you, I am calling all of the car repair places in Worcester right now, so chances are this website will not be available tomorrow. Please give me a call if you'd like to claim this website. Something along, yeah, and Brittany, that's fantastic. Brittany says, yeah, okay, Mike. No, Mike asks, aren't all the other SEO companies doing that? Mike, absolutely not. The other companies are not doing that. What other SEO companies are saying is, I can get you to the first page of Google. I can do this. What we're saying, and what makes all the difference in the world, please understand this, everyone. What makes all the difference in the world, yeah, a lot of people are typing it in. What makes all the difference in the world is we've already got the website to the front page of Google. We're not making an empty promise. We're not leaving any shadow of a doubt in a business owner's mind. He's seeing, hey, this guy says he can. Not only does this guy say he can get me to the first page of Google, but he's already got this website to the first page of Google. And he says all I have to do is give him my information and it's going to be customized for my business. That's the selling power of this. That honestly is. And when you can get that across, when a business owner realizes that, hey, they're not making promises. They've actually done this, and this can be mine. And that is what makes all the difference in the world. It really is. It's so much different than walking in and saying, hey, Mr. Business Owner, I'm this great big expert at search engine optimization, and I can do this, I can do that. There's a huge difference between saying, hey, Mr. Business Owner, I have already got a website on that first page of Google for a business just like yours. I can customize this website for your business. This is going to get you out there in front of all your competitors. Now, it's only available to one business. Okay, I'm only offering this to one business. It's either going to be you that takes it or one of your competitors. And that right there, that's what sells it. That absolutely is what sells it. You're not making a false promise. You're saying, hey, we're already there. This works. You should get it. And like I said, though, it is a last resort. And we are not trying to close the sale. That's very important to realize. When we call, we're not trying to close the sale. We want him to say, yes, I am interested in getting more customers by being on the top of Google. Okay, and those are my methods. Like I said, I'm playing around with LinkedIn, and a couple people wrote about they're using LinkedIn to bring in 3 or 4 or 5. One guy says he's bringing in like 10 new leads a day through LinkedIn. Like I said, I'm starting to experiment with it. Hopefully maybe in a week or two I'll have a little maybe $5 or $10 course on it I'll do a webinar maybe for you guys too, because you guys are my beta group, because I am going to be launching this program at a much higher price, and I hope everyone is appreciating, or not appreciating, I hope you're enjoying the value of it, and I hope you can see that it's not that hard. It really isn't that hard. These $197 checks are not unreasonable to get from a business. Not unreasonable at all. And a couple of things, Harry, if I am am very proud of my nice looking site, but on third, then I buy your. Yeah, Harry, yeah, that happened. That kind of thing does happen. Harry saying, I have a scenario. Say that. Okay, let's say that this is a really good question, and you know what, Harry, I am gonna save it for Wednesday, but I'll just tell you, yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm very glad. What is the number of monthly searches? Monthly search. Okay. This was another question. Let me. I'm gonna hold that too. There is no. Okay. Let me actually answer this right now, because I've gotten this enough. People have said, I'm looking at, Worcester car repair, and it looks like there's less than 100 searches a month. And what my answer, or people are saying, well, why is that good for a business? And I've said it a couple times, this is not an end-all, be-all service. This is a heck of a bargain. There are very few places where you can get a website built customized for a business for only $197. Okay, you could spend $497 for the same exact service that we're just offering. Just the website design alone is easily worth $197, especially if you're using, the upgrade theme. If you're using this theme, to pay $197 just for this website, even if it wasn't ranked on the very first page of Google, is a fantastic bargain. I hope people realize that, just that alone is a fantastic bargain. Okay? So, there's almost no number that I wouldn't go for. So, and also on these smaller communities like Worcester, it's very hard. It's very hard to tell the exact number of people that are searching. It's just extremely hard, because it's such a small number, and Google really isn't built for those small searches. And yeah, Ed brings up a very good point. Even if you are only getting 100 searches or so, those are extremely targeted, especially for something Worcester car repair. That's someone, they're looking to get their car repaired. Chances are they're not looking to get their car repaired tomorrow. Chances are they're not looking to get their car repaired next year. They're looking to get their car repaired now. Okay? And it's very targeted keywords. Michael asks, while we are waiting for the site to be sold, what do we do with the inquiries for leads from the site? There probably won't be any, because we're talking like a turnover time of, a couple of weeks. For a brand new site, there probably won't be any. There probably won't be any inquiries or leads off the bat. Almost none. Like I said, I have got some before, but it usually will take a little while. Yeah, right, Brittany, you are. There are, for some keywords, you will be. Like, Brittany has a site, similar process. She already had her site set up, but she's already getting, and she's in a top secret niche. Don't worry, Brittany, I won't share it. She's in a top secret niche, and she's getting from one of her sites, she's already getting 15 leads or more per month. So, and it's not the biggest of areas either, so that really is fantastic. Um, Hal, Hal asks if the business really doesn't want it. Right? Yeah, you can say, okay, that's all right. I've done it too, and it is a little snarky, or it's kind of a little bit rude. And on the phone, where you ask the question, Mr. Business Owner, are you looking for more? Would you like more customers? Okay, and almost everyone, okay, almost any business owner has got to say yes. Yes, of course I want more customers, unless he's extremely busy beyond belief, but most businesses aren't. Any business owner is going to say, yes, I want more customers. Okay, and if he says no, okay, if he says no, oh, would you know of another business? Would you know of one of your competitors who would like more customers? You can do something like that. I don't always recommend doing it, but it gets the point across. It's saying, well, if you don't need more customers, I'll just go ahead and offer this to your biggest competitor. John, John asks about the template. A bunch of people ask this too. About this, could you put in, yeah, you could. You could have a video here. You would just need to change the homepage layout. John's asking, and a bunch of people asked the other night, we're looking at this template. This is the upgraded template. If you didn't get it yet, it's only $9.95. It's not going to be $9.95 forever. It's going to be just part of the Business Builder package, which is probably going to go up to, I don't know, at least $27 or so. But people have been asking, can I use a video here instead of a slider on these customer sites? And yeah, you can. You just need to change the home page. You need to edit the home page. And I'll go ahead and I'll look at that. And if it's easy enough, I'll show you how you can do it. You're basically going to just X out the video or the slider and then just paste in the embed code for a video. Yeah, you do have to say it. Hal says, when you do say something like that, when you do a takeaway when you do a takeaway like that, where you're saying, okay, if you're not interested in more customers, I'll just talk to your biggest competitor. I'm sure he could use some more customers. You do need to say it with a straight face. You can't laugh about it. No, honestly, Mike McCarney. Mike says if we're going to be, using our phone number, should we be in the same area code? There are a couple of ways you can do this, Mike. I don't want you to have to go spend any extra money, but you could get like a number through Skype. I think it's $3 a month, or you could get a Google number, possibly, if you wanted to have a local number to where you're going to be marketing. It's not the hugest of difference. Like I've marketed with an 800 number. I've marketed with out of area numbers. It's only a big deal, really, if you're going to be marketing yourself as a local guy. Like I talk about that in Module 6, where we can go deeper, we can go wide. If you're going to be marketing yourself as, say, a marketer in just a city, I would definitely make sure that I had a phone number that was, had the same area code as that city. But when you're starting out, don't worry about it so much. Or get a number through Skype that could forward, or get like a Google phone number. I'm not sure if you can get Google phone number, though. I'm not sure if you can specify your area code. I think you can, can't you? I think you can. I could be wrong. Yeah. I thought so. Thank you, Ruben. Thank you, Bob. Sorry, I apologize. Let me, so the dialing for dollars, and once again, if you don't want to do this dialing, okay, I don't blame you. Hopefully you're never going to get there. Hopefully you're going to get it sold by email or through some video marketing or some direct mail. But if you do not, dialing for those dollars, okay? And chances are you can get a sale. And you can do dialing for dollars. Like I said, let's. I'm gonna talk to Brittany a little bit more, and I've done it too. Where I was saying earlier about calling the answering machine. I'll do another little video or a PDF about that, because that really is a powerful method where we're going to leave a message when we know they're not there. So we're really not going to have to call anyone. Hal, Brittany is just a customer. She is, typing in a message with me, just like you are. But she had some luck by calling businesses. Like I was saying earlier, she called some businesses after hours, and she already had people calling her back interested in what she was offering. And just a simple, call that answering machine or call their answering service after hours and say, hey, we have got, would you be interested in getting more customers for your business? It's just even that easy. But, we'll go over that a little bit more. I'll make up a little PDF or a video, something like that. And I just want to get through this quick. I promised everyone we would finish on time. And we've already talked about this. We'll go over this more on Wednesday night too. But the fastest way to cash in is to offer these sweet price spots. Or it's a sweet spot. It's a $197 setup and then $49 a month. Simple. Any business can afford it. Any business can see value in that. And a $49 a month charge, they will pay forever and ever and ever, as long as you provide them A, with good service, B, keep them up on that first page of Google, and C, get them some business. And if we deal with those higher dollar type of clients like roofers and contractors in big dollar amounts, a little bit of new business every year is all they need to justify the small price. And for some of the other businesses, there's going to be enough search volume, like restaurants and pizza restaurants. You'd be amazed at the amount of searches, even for like cities with 100,000. How many people are looking for pizzas? No, you don't. Hal has asked, and a couple people have asked, do you have to use my numbers? No, but I do recommend that you do use my numbers to start with. Get your first sale at $197. Okay? It'll be easier than selling it at $297. Okay, actually, maybe it won't be easier. Like, some people are already saying, I have no problem talking on the phone. I'm really good with a pen. I can sell something. I want to sell it for $297 or $397. I've sold it for $797 with no monthly fee. Sold it for $497 with no monthly fee. Sold it at $197 with a small monthly fee like this. And for me, this has been the easiest way to sell. Yeah. Dwight, yeah, I do. And I do mention that in Module 6. For sure. We're going to talk all about, on Wednesday night, we're going to talk about different things to upsell them, easy things to upsell them. One of them, like Dwight is asking, like autoresponder service to clients. Clients are amazed when they hear what an autoresponder can do, especially for a type of business that has a lot of. I have a couple of like hair salons and beauty salons that have autoresponder service, and they're amazed. They're able to send out coupons to all their clients. No, Paul, that simple sales page with an order button, that would be either, that can be a home page that can be a home page, but it can also be just added as a new page. Okay, what Paul's asking is, in your marketing material, there's that simple sales page. What you could do is, if you're on WordPress, you could create a new page as a sales page and go ahead and put in that simple sales page. Or if you're doing an HTML site, you could just go ahead and put together a simple little sales page. And by all means, condense that, expand on it. It's absolutely just a, yeah, mobile apps are super easy upsell too. Super easy. Especially for a restaurant. All you do is say, hey, now I just want you to know that we've got your site. It's to the top of Google, but the one important thing is it's only going to look all right on a mobile website. It's not going to look great. We can just tweak a little bit here. We can modify a few things to give you a really good mobile website. Yeah, mobile websites are good upsell. So many good upsells. Awesome, Derek. Awesome. Yeah, Ed, I can do that. I'll talk, Ed, I'll be the first to admit, though, that my system is not the best. Ed's asking about my organization. I'll be the first to admit I'm not the best. But what I find works really good is I keep a really long Excel spreadsheet. And I have like the domain name over on the left-hand side. And then I just go across that spreadsheet and fill in the information. And, that gets updated with each new client. So, yeah. So we're going to set up that simple sales page. If you got the upgrade, you already have that. You already have it all formatted. If you just have the regular package, you still have, the text. So go ahead and pay someone over on Fiverr $5 to put that on an HTML page for you. You could easily do that. Have them create a little theme for you, anything like that. Or have them put it on WordPress site for you if you don't know how to do it. Will, I'll email that to you. Oh, I just stick around to the end, Will. I'll give you the link for that. It's easy enough to set up. Hopefully you already watched the video showing you how to set up a PayPal button. It's really not that hard. Alright, Harry is asking, I'm still not sure how to get around the fact that I am renting out the site. What is your response if the potential buyer wants to buy your site? I would sell it to them. I would sell it to them for, 3 times my yearly rate if someone wanted to buy it. Like, I'd sell it for maybe $1,900 or so. If they didn't want to outright buy the domain name, I'm sorry, sir, this website, we're setting it up for you, and I'd be more than happy to build you another website or to mirror this site on yourdomainname.com. Karen, it's really, I can give you, it's really nothing. It's not even organized. Nothing is labeled. I just have the left side is the domain name, then the keywords. And then when a business grabs it, sometimes I'll get the business owner's name if I actually talk to them. But yeah, I can show you what it looks like, sure. Can you set up a variable price deal on PayPal? I'm not sure what you mean, John. What you can do with PayPal is you set your trial amount, okay, is your $197, and then your monthly amount is $49. Yeah, right. You can build a lot more websites when you are getting more money for them, sure. Yeah, Brittany says, I have a couple of, right. It's so easy to get local sites up on the first page of Google. Brittany, yeah, you can. If there's no content on the site, you can try and market that site. But I like to have a site more look like it's an actual business, because they can actually picture themselves with that site. But realize this, okay? we're gonna get done in like 5 minutes. Everyone that's saying, are we almost done? If you just sell sites, okay, like this at $197 setup and $49 a month, okay, after a year, you're gonna be making $115,285 from those sites, okay. Like, you're not gonna make that immediately because, you know, just 197 times 3, that's like $600 a week. But once you get your rebills kicking in, once you have 100 rebills, like you have 100 clients, picture yourself with 100 clients at $49 a month, that's $4,900 in rebills. Okay? That's at the $197 price point. You can make like 6 figures at this price point. You can raise your prices though. You're not locked into these. I do recommend, well, Brittany, everything you're going to have taxes and expenses, but 115 is still a gross, and I mean, we're dealing in gross numbers. Ted, I receive payments through PayPal and a shopping cart, both. I have one site that's solely hooked up to a shopping cart, and then another site that's solely hooked up to PayPal. When it comes right down to it, though, a lot of people will send in a check. Like, a lot of people, if you're going to have a phone, this is if you're going to have a phone number on your site. A lot of people will call you, okay? They'll want to make sure that you're a real person on the end of the phone. And then they'll say, where can I send a check? Okay, and what I tell them from now on, because I've got burnt more times than I care to admit, is I say, that's fine. I need you to FedEx that check to me right now, though, because there's already some other companies in your area that are interested in this site. Do I provide an invoice? No, only if I'm doing PayPal. No, definitely not. PayPal keeps all the records. PayPal keeps all of the records. But yeah. How does that, Will, I'm not sure what you mean. How does that number work? Right, Ryan makes a good point, yeah. One thing to note, though, when you're dealing with real businesses, your chargeback rate is, it's like 0. I mean, dozens and dozens and dozens of claims run through PayPal, run through a merchant account. Never, ever, ever, ever have I, never, ever, ever have I, what do you call it? Had a chargeback. Will, I'm not sure what you're asking. I mean, I've gone through the math. When I gave you that figure of $49 a month, that obviously is not for 3 sites a week. That would only be 2 sites a week if we're dealing with 100 customers. I mean, don't worry so much about the math. I mean, it's easy enough to figure out, but I wouldn't worry so much about the math. I mean, are you complaining about $5,880 in recurring income? Then you also have to add on all of the initial sales. But I mean, if you want to just focus on that kind of thing, that's all right too. Okay, I thought you were. I was like, no. I think actually the right number is 114. It's easy enough to figure out. Just you're talking 3 sites a week would be 150 sites. Here, let me bring this over. Everyone see my calculator? If we were doing 3 sites per week, okay, 3 times 50, we'll take 2 weeks off, would be 150. Okay. 150 times 736 That's 736. 736 is the amount of $197 payment plus 11 months of 49. So right there, you have 110,000. But I mean, six figures anyway. There isn't much difference between 110 and 115. Yeah, and Hal makes another fantastic point here. You can make much more on upsells than they will on the initial sale, because I've said it. This service that we're offering, this front page website, what it is it's just a dazzling foot in the door method of you to, get some instant cash. Okay, that's really what it is. And get some residuals, but it's a foot in the door method. It's not an end all be all method. It really isn't, because truthfully, a business isn't going to get a whole lot of new business from their website. And they shouldn't. For a $49 a month hosting and maintenance fee, they shouldn't be getting dozens of new clients per month. They shouldn't. There's no way that any other advertising medium would give them that. But their $49 a month is giving them a very visible presence in the search engines. It's giving them some new customers, and it's giving you an incredible opportunity to upsell them to other services, be them other services that you can provide or other services that you can just be an affiliate for and refer them off to other services. And that's definitely something that wasn't even in Module 6, but I'm going to cover that a little bit on Wednesday night. That's going to be really neat, where you're going to get paid just like you get paid as an affiliate marketer online. Like, we're going to make some cash from referring our clients to other services, and that's going to be really fun. So let's wrap this up. John, what do you mean, can we achieve a better ranking your presence? Yeah, I mean, first page is good. Generally, you can get more money for a number 1 or a number 2 spot. Yeah. No, a site like this, I wouldn't even worry about a landing page per se. Now let's get into this really. Or you know what? We're gonna cut it short. I see too many people are already leaving. Okay, and yeah, what I'd rather do is what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do another question session on Wednesday. Okay, we're definitely gonna do another question session on Wednesday. And what we'll do is we'll start off, because almost no one is to this point yet. What we'll do is we'll start off with the what if nobody buys. And we're going to talk about all the different ways that we can still make some money and get some credibility and all those things. So that's going to do it for tonight. We'll take all your questions on Wednesday. I apologize. It's just I can see the attendance list, and I see that we've just lost about, like 20%, and I don't want to lose people again like we did the other night. I need to stick to the schedule a little bit better. But hopefully you see how to market these. It's not hard. We're telling them, hey, we got the number 3 spot or first front rate spot. There's no reason your business shouldn't be here instead of your competitors. So I'll get this uploaded tomorrow. It will be on high def. I'm going to stop the recording now in just a second, and yeah, I'll cover the what if nobody buys. I do want you to, though, start taking some action right now. And what these action things are, what I want you to do is, number 1, like we said at the beginning, make sure your site is online. So assuming that your site is online, I want you to go ahead and choose at least one of these strategies and put it into action. Okay? And if a week goes by and you still don't have anything, if you still haven't sold anything, we're going to put another method into action. And you're going to get a couple sites out there, and you're going to get your first site sold, and you're going to say, oh my gosh, this is so awesome, and it really was so easy. And you're going to build and build and build, and you're going to do better and better, and you're going to make all kinds of money, I hope. So that's going to do it for tonight. I want to thank everyone for coming out, and we will see you. I will put up, I promise, tomorrow morning. It'll probably be noon Eastern time. I'll get the link up for Wednesday's webinar. Remember, Wednesday, 9 o'clock, I'll get the link up tomorrow. And I'll get up this video in HD, and I'll go ahead and upgrade those other videos to HD so you can see it all good. So I want to thank you again. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you all. On Wednesday. Thanks again. Bye bye. I'm gonna just leave this screen open for a few minutes.